Some people are quite rightly questioning whether the old power structures are actually on the way out, when we still see so much evidence around us that the old ways are still running the show, or at least trying to. I want to speak directly to the concerned people have regarding the powers that be, that were, and the global elite. People are highly skeptical that the so-called 1% and those working in the shadows for their own gain at the cost of the majority of humanity will so easily let go of their grip on power. Here's the thing. Power of this nature, overpowering the masses, relies on either forcing compliance on others, various forms of slavery, or manipulating people into compliance, making it so that people are not aware they are being overpowered or believe that's just how it is, and there's nothing we can do about it. As we wake up, the grip that this power has had over us lessens. We are no longer buying what is being sold. We are pulling our plugs into new sockets, and as we do, so the old systems cannot help but collapse or be called to transform. The old powers can hold on to their reins as tightly as they like. But if everyone is letting go of the rope from the other end and moving on to greener pastures, well, they will be left holding limp reins eventually. This is our time of choosing. The greener pastures are available to us, and we are here this lifetime to know that they are available to us. So, as the solar flares shake us up like a cocktail mixer, be thankful. Better to be shaken and awakened than not. End of quote. And quoted from Heather Carlini. I have noticed in my own research that solar activity is known to influence human consciousness. Solar flares affect the central nervous system, stomach lining, all brain activity, including equilibrium, along with human behavior and psychological response. Solar flares can cause us to be nervous, anxious, worrisome, jittery, dizzy, shaky, irritable, lethargic, exhausted, have short-term memory problems and heart palpitations, feel nauseous, queasy, and to have prolonged head pressure and headaches. Do you have any of these? Well, I'm hearing from people in Canada, US, South America, Japan, Greece, Malta, Belgium, Sweden, UK, Australia, etc., that are all reporting the symptoms that I just addressed. I have also experienced these symptoms myself, as many of my clients. Scientists don't seem to be addressing this, but we all know it is as real as we are experiencing it firsthand. The solar flares and photon waves are changing the fabric of our physical reality, as they have a powerful effect on our physical cellular level, causing our cellular memories to awaken and to clear. We often experience this as the body heating up in the form of hot flashes. End of quote. And quoted from lovely Linda. Solar flares, our heart's home, and eclipse. The energy from all the X-class solar flares we are experiencing is magnifying everything we no longer need. The dross of our lives is disappearing under the benevolent rays of our dear sun. It's as if the sun is holding up a huge magnifying glass over us to burn away all of our warts. The higher vibrating light pulls up the lower vibrations of trauma and pain that we have stored in our being. It is all being cleared out, a bonfire of pain and suffering releasing. It is a blessing, yet can feel like anything but. This solar eclipse felt like a trigger to launch me more fully into union with all. I am opening myself to receive all the gifts that it brings. All the desirings of my heart boil down to one note: unity. Unity, wholeness, and oneness. End of quote. There is no denying now we are in a huge shift on this planet, and there's no going back, as we shared. What is unfolding now is unprecedented, and just a few years ago, not only unthought of, but most likely impossible. Well, the impossible is now very, very possible, and love's magic and miracles are now at play. Love and the energy of love has the audacity to change everything. In fact, love already has, is, and will continue on this planet. Massive shifts are underway and a full planetary awakening, guaranteed. Quoted from Star Sister Marsha, a time of massive cosmic shift. We're crossing an energetic threshold of massive proportions, when great cycles of time spanning millennia are concluding and beginning. In these times, everything that happens is intensified and accelerated. It happens as our sun prepares for a reversal of its polarities. End of quote. And quoted from Carolyn K.A. A new paradigm is forming. Our world is changing. And as we have shared before, it all begins with us, within each individual and within each heart. Compassion, unity, forgiveness, understanding, and love are the main components for bringing our new world to reality. Change is everywhere, and the multidimensional world is absolutely real, and quite literally at our fingertips. Big changes are taking place. I just hope within our world and on our beloved planet Gaia, we will see the changes we need very soon, and in this golden age to which we have all entered upon. End of quote. This next eclipse, although in the sun sign of Scorpio, which is water, is also carrying intense fire energy with it, which represents intense transformation. Since Scorpio represents death, birth, and transformation, this eclipse will ignite these energies, creating an intense energy for all on the planet, and coupled with all of our solar flare energy to give us quite a punch. And this is coupled with Mercury retrograde. Woohoo! Quoted from Cilicia. On November 3rd, we had a powerful Scorpio solar eclipse, potentially the most transformational one since 1994. End of quote. And quoted from Meredith Murphy. New codes of creation are being transmitted to us from the great central sun. They are being received by our sun and impulse to us. The solar eclipse this past Sunday transmitted new codes for creation to Earth, further empowering Earth's ascension and our own upliftment into more and more embodied light. These codes give an infusion to our collective and individual consciousness, inviting a remembering of our eternalness. Combined with the lunar eclipse energies of bliss, Sunday's solar eclipse will propel us into the reflections of purpose, self-expression, and strongly urging us to bring our life into alignment now. When the Earth completed its shift into a fifth-dimensional expression last December 2012, new harmonics of creation were released into our earthly experience. Earth, which had long been in a very contained sphere energetically, existing in duality, was now open for connection and participation on a galactic scale. This year of recalibrating to these new energies has been demanding and hard, much harder than many of us expected. We are, however, growing in capacity. Now with the entrainment to the bliss energies and the new harmonics continue to expand in the collective and in our fields of presence, big stuff is starting to open up. This past Sunday, we had a new moon and solar eclipse, and this eclipse was known as a hybrid eclipse. When it first occurs, it will be in annular form, which is also known as a ring eclipse. At this point, the moon is not quite big enough to fully cover the sun, so it leaves what's known as a ring of fire around its periphery. But as the eclipse moved, the curvature of the Earth makes the moon appear larger, and by that time the eclipse gets to Central Africa, the moon will cover the sun entirely. The energy is already being felt by many and will certainly be big, and it was. Stay calm and use the momentum to set intentions, envision, and feel what you want to manifest. End of quote. Quoted from Carol Ann Sioko. As I'm sure you're aware, we are in an intense energetic pressure cooker right now. Not only is the normally intense Scorpio season in full swing, with Mercury retrograde in that sign, but we have a powerful hit of the Uranus-Pluto square signature and a very unusual and amazing hybrid solar eclipse. So this week is jam-packed with many opportunities for breakthroughs in personal evolution and accelerated leaps forward in spiritual growth. We live in times of exceptional change, opportunities for spiritual growth, joy, peace, service, and abundance surround us at every turn. A solar pole reversal is occurring also. Changes to the sun's polarity will ripple all throughout the solar system, affecting not only Earth, but all planetary bodies. This eclipse is a transmitter of this 11-year cycle of solar shift. When the light flashes from the ring of fire and from totality, the message is ramped up and stacked with illumination. The Uranus square Pluto chart reveals that the masses are going to receive a revelation of truth. The solar system is having a mystical awakening, and it is taking place on Earth. Gentle heart energies that bring a sense of inspiration and the illumination of ideas. The sudden release of material from the unconsciousness, which brings with it a great deal of insight. End of quote. And